All right, we're getting close to kicking off the NASCAR Racing 2 season, but I wanted to just document some things I'm doing here to set this game up. Firstly, I'm going to eventually, some point early in the season, make a tutorial on how to get this running. I'm just really pumped about getting this season going, so I want to get that going, get a workflow going, and then do a tutorial on how to get NASCAR Racing 2 up and running, and it's actually kind of easy. I mean, I've been in the back alleys of 90s internet and bugging people in their YouTube comments asking for help, but I think we got it. Or we do have it. I just have to try to recreate it in a clean way for a tutorial. So anyway, let's boot up the game. And I have a bunch of shortcuts handy right now. And this is going to automatically start up the game. Boom, we're in. Now, firstly, what I've done is there's a... Okay, I'm just going to show you. NASCAR 2. We're going to type in NASCAR 2. And... oh shit, this didn't even go full screen. Okay, because this is the old... this is the... you'll see what I mean here in a second. Okay, you see how... oh crap, I don't have my wheel set up. Do you see how crappy these graphics are in the cars? I don't have my wheel hooked up. I'm trying to catch up to these clowns. But you can see how bad it looks right now, okay? So let's just... it's abandon ship. Get out of here. And we're done. But let's restart the game because right now I have it set up to start up on NASCAR 3D FX. You probably saw it pop up there at the bottom. Now, take a look at these cars. So much better, right? So that was a big... the downside is you can see the wall is already kind of blurry. But getting that looking good was awesome. And I was bugging somebody in their YouTube comments. I'm going to give them a shout out. I have it written down somewhere. I forget where, but I was going to give them a shout out. I'll definitely give them a shout out in the tutorial and whatnot. But I don't know why I just backed out of the game. But let's go back into the game. Here we go. NASCAR Racing 2003. Or, yeah, right. NASCAR Racing 2, 2003. And here's all the tracks. And you can see there's some little glitchiness here, but nothing crazy. The only glitchiness I've seen doing the 3D FX is in this one menu. That's been it. And right now, Indianapolis, Texas, and California are new tracks that weren't in the base game that I've been able to add into it. And I'll show you how I go about adding those. But options, joystick, I mean, it was pretty easy. It was, DOSBox had everything ready to go. There might be a hiccup for some people. I'll talk about that during the tutorial instead, but I was able to get all this done good. Thankfully, I was able to turn the skidding way down. We might turn that up once just to see. Max opponents heard, 7, that's as high as it goes. And then graphics, everything's on. Everything's maxed out. So yeah, now we go to driver info. Sweeney Todd, that was gonna be my fictional driver. Sweeney Todd's gonna be in our season 4 of NR 2003. But I'm gonna be driving as Ricky Rudd. There he is. And actually, I'm gonna take a screenshot of that. And you'll see why. Well, because right now you'll see over on the right, I'll have because the resolution isn't perfect for, it's not 1920 by 1080, my screen resolution. So what I have to do is just have it all bumped to the left and then just have some kind of overlay on the right with silly stuff. I don't know. But here's our roster this season. And something I'm going to do this video because I have it written down and I got to do it. I'm just going to fly through. Some of these don't have names. Some of these don't have pictures. Wally Dallenbach, he's going to be in here twice. He's there once. And then he's in here again, but I just changed his name to Ricky Craven. But because that's Ricky Craven's car. But yeah, a bunch of these cars I had to go find. You see IWCC Cars Project. That's from back in the day. I was able to track these down and put these into the game. Because this isn't the stock, the stock driver. John Smith, we're keeping John Smith. He's the GOAT. From the original, he was like one of the jobber turd cars in the stock proprietor. Here's Dave Marcus, Morgan Shepherd, just going through, and we're gonna come across Axel Richardson or Axel Richardson, and I think I got to change that to Richard Axelson as a joke, but that's from GP Laps. GP Laps did a season of NASCAR Racing 1, the prequel to this one, and he made up the name Axel Richardson Jr., and then he forgot what it was, and he called it Richard Axel. I forget, but I got to go back and find out the lore behind that joke and change the name here. And then Jeff Burton. That rounds out our roster. And you want to paint a car? I'll talk about that eventually. You know me, man. I wanted to get in and paint. This is a whole thing. Like, it's a whole deal dealing with these PCX files, they're called. Eventually, maybe somebody will be able to help me out. It has something to do with 256 colors, and all these tutorials say to use Coral Draw and shit. Like, what? And if you know what I'm saying, shout out to you if you know what Coral Draw is. But championship, we're not going to be running a championship because all of these races, I'm already quote unquote tuning in the tracks, because I don't have as much freedom with INI files here as we do in NR 2003. So we're going to be winging it. We're trying to figure it out. We might eventually get to something pretty cool. Might have to handicap ourselves at the back of the pack and survive going up the field or something. I don't know, because survival of the races is a big part of the whole deal. And then in our season, we're not going to do yellow flags. We'll do a pace lap. Might turn on player breakdowns or something if we end up being too good. And then damage is going to be off because it's ridiculous. I mean, I want to have fun here. I don't want to just wreck out every race because of some jankiness in a 30-year-old game, you know? And you'll see what I mean there. And weather, constant, this, that, and the other. I mean, race length, we can do. This goes single percentage points all the way up. And then 36 drivers is going to be our, I'll talk about that as well. 36 drivers is going to be our roster because that is the lowest number that trying to think of a better way to put it. Rockingham, for instance, I think you can have 39 drivers. And out of all of our tracks, the lowest number that is the maximum you can have at a track is 36. And I think it's Richmond or Dover. You can only have 36 at Dover while you can have 40 at Talladega, for example. And then, because I'm going to have to keep our standings off to the side in an Excel spreadsheet, and I just want to be able to set it and drop it in, let the formula work and be done and not have to figure out, who didn't qualify this race because there was only 30, you know. So, because there'd be 39 cars starting at Talladega, but only 36 at Richmond. You know what I'm saying. So, whatever. And some of these are night races. I'll show you how that works. Trying to think of a track that I haven't really tried to dial in yet. I mean, the road course, I'm actually not too bad at the road courses here. Kind of wild to think about. Pocono, Talladega. Trying to think here. Darlington. Darlington is a track that I have not tuned in yet. And we're going to do a couple things here. We're going to, quote unquote, tune in this track. Right now, 22 laps, no thanks. We're going to knock that down. We're going to knock that down to 11 laps right now. And we'll talk about what I got to do here. as far as, like I said, quote unquote, tuning these in. So, car setup, Ace is the best. So we're going to drive as Ace, the Ace setup. You have practice, which we can jump in and practice right now. Look at these. I gotta put my wheel on my desk, but like, look at these. I was having like I don't know if it's is that the Mandela effect or whatever with the Berenstain Bears, and everyone thought it was Berenstein Bears or something. But anyway, when I've been really digging down and getting into the game, I've been wondering, like, did I use this 3DFX, or was I running the game on that choppiness? Like the choppy graphics. You can see right now I'm speeding right now, but you can turn on the automatic brake or whatever it's called, and so you don't speed on pit road. There's no merging penalties here. But look at this. Check this out. Look at these billboards. And damn it, my obsession with mipping all the tracks, I'm like, oh my god, I'll be able to mip this. But I haven't been able to because there's something to do with 256 colors or something. Somebody out there knows how to do it. So, I don't have my headphones on right now, but we're running some practice laps here at Darlington. I just want to get a feel for the track. I mean, the car, not doing too bad right now. There's Hutch Strickland, and we'll look at all the standings and everything, all the options and what have you. I'm not sure if I've edited this track yet to have the max. I'll show you how I do that as well. But yeah, we have a pretty good handle on the track here, so we're done. We're gonna get into the race here. We're not gonna qualify. There's like a happy hour, but then I'm gonna put my headphones on, and then we're gonna race. And then what I want to do is what are we doing here? What I want to do is figure out my fastest times I run. And I can do that in practice, of course, but especially just getting this game up off the ground, I want to race with the AI at all the tracks and see what kind of weirdness there is everywhere, you know. And I've come into this with an open mind. Like, the game's released in 1996, was probably developed in 1995. So there's gonna be some weirdness, and you gotta roll with the punches. You know, but look at this. Incredible. That's Derek Cope there. So we're on lap 2 right now. What I want to do is basically warm up my tires for a few laps and then really drop the hammer, probably back off the pack, and then drop the hammer and see how fast I get around here. And then I'm going to compare it against the leader's lap times. There's Dave Marcus. We'll make a power move on Dave Marcus. I did have these tracks pretty much ready to go as far as the difficulty percentage, but then whenever I was when I was improving to the better graphics here with the NAS 3DFX or whatever, you had to download a patch that came with the that Papyrus released, or Sierra, whoever, back in the day. And I had noticed before the patch that there was like a weird dead zone in my wheel, and sometimes I would just get jutted to the right. And then when I opened up the README in that patch notes, it even said fixes the issue of joystick randomly giving you the business. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then that fixed it. And then since the patch I installed, I've gotten faster. So now I have to go back to all these tracks and find out my better times. And I'm only going to be getting better. So it's just going to be a moving target. We might run away with the championship, or we might wreck. We might get into Ricky Craven, Wally Dahlin back here. Do we have a car high? I can't remember. This was the first game to have a spotter audible. Or hell, even the first NASCAR game didn't even have text, I don't think. The mirror is helpful. All right, we're on lap 6. I've tuned in these tires. I was going to say, hey, I'm going to back away from the pack and let her loose, but I'm actually running pretty hard right now, so I don't really have to do that. Plus, we might run into tire wear issues later on. I don't know. Now, I've gotten used to the recent NASCAR seasons I've been running to, we really don't have to lap cars. There's really no back markers because they're all evenly matched, That's just how those seasons are set up. But for this kind of season, I want that. I want some back markers. And right now, I just hodgepodged willy-nilly threw in all these cars, and we don't have back markers yet. So I gotta change their ratings to get to get Dave Marcus back there, and unfortunately, some good names are gonna be turds this season. Morgan Shepherd, maybe Rick Mast, John Smith might have to turd him up. All right, we got 3 laps to go or whatever. So right now I have these keys mapped to my steering wheel D-pad, but you can hit the standings, and you can use greater than and less than, but I've changed those to the D-pad, so you can see the standings up and down. You can check out that, but the standings, you can then also get real-time stuff by hitting enter, which I have that mapped, and you can see where we're at in relation to everyone around us. So through 10 laps, I've gotten halfway through the field in 10 laps. It's probably not the best. Those difficulties we might be a little too fast. But other things on all the usual suspects are here. Tires, tire temps, everything. I'm babying the car a little bit, but I mean, I'm just concerned on what the final trying to make sure that I'm running this hard enough so I can compare my best time against the leader's best time. All right, we'll see who won this. There's your Darlington stripe. Didn't want that to happen. I wanted to go see who won the race. Might still be able to catch him. Looks like Mark Martin won it. Man, that Darlington stripe wasn't messing around. We're going to be running races that are long enough that we're going to get a pit stop. But I haven't even run a race with pit stops yet, so I don't know how it's going to go. So back out of the game, there's our defeat. But now we go into the replay. And the thing about the replay is it only goes back about 10 minutes. Like this race was only 7 minutes. I think 10 minutes is roughly the max that it stores. Whatever. So let's go to the end of the race. My best lap was a 31.090. And I mean, I didn't beat my best time ever. So we'll use that best lap ever, 30.797. And what I'm going to do is go find the leaders. There's no lap. You really don't know what lap you're on. Or you can't change lap to lap. You can, what do you call? You just rewind. You could just go back and forward with greater than and less than. And I'm just rewinding it right now, whatever. But 30.7 is what we want with our leader. And 31.3. When my best lap was a 30.7. So what I got to do is figure out what this difficulty was. And another thing I want to check is the tire wear situation. Where's the leaders right here? Leaders are 31.3, 31.3, 30. So 31.3 has been their best laps. And then tire wear through 11 laps was only a tenth of a second. They lost a tenth of a second. Meanwhile, it's just not scientific. I got to go find me. And, 31, however, if I sucked today, I did whatever, and then I was two tenths off or 1.5 tenths or whatever. So we're pretty good through 10 laps, and it's just a matter of if that can be sustained throughout the course of a 50-lap run. Maybe they just really drop off, or maybe my tires explode. I don't know. But there's a load here. I didn't know you could save abort. Okay. I have to look into this, too. But you can go full screen with this. Look at this. This is incredible. I got to map the spacebar to my steering wheel so I can do this without leaning over. But cameras. We got all these cameras. Got the blimp cam right here. Look at this. Incredible. Oh, all those billboards. I wanted to MIP those so bad. I was thinking about them in my sleep. So that is that. I think I touched upon everything I wanted to touch upon there. So, and then what I'll do is I'm leaving race weekend, and that was 99% difficulty. So I got to write down that, this goes up. I might pump that up to like 102%, and then I won't put you through that. So, okay. Next, what I want to do is I need a turd. That's what I need. I need one of those back marker turds because I need their stats. These are the original cars that came with the game with everything. Clancy. I remember Clancy was a turd, and my desktop's a war zone right now. So wherever S. Clancy went, we're going to jump back in. There's Clancy right there. And then what I got to do, he's one of those back marker turds. And then his numbers, I'm going to write these down. 125. I got to do these all manually. 400, 562, 125, 250. 225, 350. How many are there here? That's it? There's just four stats. It's not bad. Bio. Let's see what his bio is. Some of these are just purely fictional drivers, and they have like this huge back. They just made up these huge backstories about them. Pretty funny. Bio. Boobs. And we'll save that. Sean Boobs. So I have those stats, and now we're going to pick our turds. We have some good cars, but then we got to pick our turds. Dick Trickle, I'm sorry, buddy. You're going to be a turd. And he's, that's 125, 275. I used the number pad there. Don't use the number pad. And then 400 to 562 was the other guy. You kidding me? Tab doesn't even work. Come on, game. 562. I've seen that max number everywhere. It's weird. Car power. What was it? 125 to 250. So we're really hurting Dick Trickle here. And a lot of cars are gonna be like this. 225. Yeah, 2 to 350. And then I actually haven't done this yet, but I saved that. We're going to return, and then we're going to go into a race. And we'll kill two birds with one stone here. And we're going to bump us up to 102. And I think you will not be able to resume race. Ah, damn it. I wanted to... just fast forward the race and then see if he sucks, Dick Trickle. Because he's going to. But let's go to Texas, and we'll just keep it on 102. Or no, I got to go to a track that... Okay, I'll show you this. This will be the last thing we do. So, to get the number of drivers that are available in each at each track, in the original README, you can see here the first field is second number is the default racing size. You can see Dover came with 28, but it allows 39. Martinsville 36. That was that track I was talking about earlier. I forgot. Couldn't remember which one it was, but Martinsville, that's the maximum number. North Wilkesboro as well, so that's why we're running with 36 drivers. And we'll talk about the wheel spin. But anyway, these are the tracks that came with the game, and it gives you an idea on how you can change it. And up here it explains how you change it. But for tracks that didn't come with the game that people made, or they came in, track packs or whatever, you kind of just have to guess. So we'll go to Texas, which didn't come with the game. And right now it's 31. You can see 31 cars. So that's how many would show up. But now I want 36, and hopefully 36 cars are available in Texas. You can see tires. There's something to do. Here's the tire wear numbers I'm thinking. But there's nothing about, what tire wear. Or maybe that's what these numbers are. But there's nothing about AI, wear. It's just what the tires do. So I don't know. I mean, I admittedly haven't gone all in on this. So we'll go to Texas and see if that worked. I mean, we have it set to 39 drivers. And, I mean, we're just going to jump right in. I have run some laps here. But, nope, I'm on the inside, so it's not going to be... It's going to be 35, so we're missing somebody. Look how nice this looks. I did change it to 36 and not 35. So... And then hang on. Oh, we can already see. We're just going to hang back here with Dick Trickle and see how bad he is. I was going to say, you can already see him being a clown. But no, now he's picked up speed. But I think he's benefiting from the AI being bunched up. This is so smooth. Like I'm still... I've said that so many times when I've been running the game, especially after the patch about the joystick, which fixed the steering wheel issue. It's unbelievable. All right, I want to see a noticeable drop-off by Dick Trickle. That's what I'm looking for. I haven't seen it yet, obviously. But yeah, there's gonna be random blow-ups by cars. They'll just start smoking. They'll just spin out of nowhere. It's pretty cool. Now I've noticed he loses ground there in 1 and 2 every lap, and I think once everything thins out, they're gonna just pull away from him. Because again, right now he's benefiting from them running side by side and them not really knowing what they're doing. But hell, while we're back here, we might as well try to turn in some fast laps. Trying to get this track dialed in. Yeah, it's hard to tell what's going on with Dick Trickle. He obviously... Seems like he obviously wants to suck. And again, turn 1 and 2 is when he loses his thunder. But hell, he's made a pass on Joe Nemechek, so I don't know. Might take some more experimentation. But we'll see. It's not the end of the world. You know. All right, then we'll go into... After this race, we'll go into Joe Nemechek's stats. And see if he sucks. Again, this is unbelievable. I don't have any assists on. I have shifting help, which is, you know, changing the gear. I don't have a gear shift. And I'm not using paddles on my wheel because I have them mapped to other things. All right, so Dick Trickle now. No, he's right behind me. I don't know why. Or that's Ward Burton behind me. So Dick Trickle, you can see 1.1 back. You definitely, I mean, we'll talk about this throughout the season. You definitely have to just let the AI do its thing sometimes. Like you're not going to be racing. You're not going to be racing side by side through the tri-oval because little things like that just happened just now where they'll just jump down. All right, looks like Dick Trickle's definitely fallen back. And I guarantee, I bet we can also look at the fastest times in the replay. And like damage will be off, but not for the AI. The AI takes on damage, but I don't. So we'll just, sorry, Jimmy Spencer. It sounds a little bit delayed. Yeah, the sounds are just a little bit delayed, but whatever. So that's the end of the race. Dejected. And then let's go into the replay. Go find Definitely went the wrong way here. Whoops. Dick Trickle, best lap was a 30.4. Definitely the worst lap out of everyone. And my best lap was a 30.1. Oh, yeah. I mean, and those leaders are turning in 29.8s, and I wasn't going all full throttle. So 102 might be good here. Okay to leave race weekend. Hopefully I remembered to grab everything. But, well, thankfully, Joe Nemechek's right near him. So Dick Trickle's numbers were 125, 275, 400 to 562. So he has a car drag. I don't know. Like, I get everything. I guess car drag is the max. The bigger number you have, the less drag you have. Meanwhile, all the other ones are self-explanatory. Car power would be good. Dick Trickle's max is 250 for car power, and then car traction 350 was Dick Trickle's max. So I think I got to take. The car power I think is going to be the big one, and 340 was Joe Nemechek's max. Dick Trickle's was 250. So, and then to how these work are whatever these numbers mean. The max Joe Nemechek's car power can have is 340. The minimum it can have is 215. And then when the track loads, it just assigns them a different number. It might change the number throughout the race, but it can't go below those numbers. Meanwhile, Dale Jarrett, for example, right there. But I mean, the big driver this season, I'm going to change these a little bit, is going to be Terry Labonte because he won the championship. And yeah, my theory was correct on car drag. His is 150. His max is 150. So the lower the better on car drag. You can see all of his numbers are big, and there's this consistency. The less of a gap between max and minimum, the more consistent the driver is. And I mean, Mark Martin just won somewhere. Did he win at Darlington with us? His numbers are pretty much the same. So I mean, there's going to be some top drivers that are going to be elite, but I mean, Terry Labonte is going to be the cream of the crop here, and there's the Wonder Boy right there. And I think that's everything I wanted to talk about here. Yeah, that'll be it. Again, player breakdowns, even if I have damage off, it can just randomly mess me up and whatnot, you know. So, yeah, so Texas, some tracks we aren't going to have 36. And I'll have to mess with I'll have to find out who's not in it and then just add them to the final standings and put, 0 points or whatever in there. I don't know. But, yeah, the big thing is not having yellow flags. We'll keep cautions off. I mean, we just ran 20 some laps, didn't have a caution, didn't have a wreck, but trust me, they're coming. And it's just it's a cool little game. Can't wait to get the season started, and it's coming sooner than later. I mean, today I'm recording this right now, Wednesday morning. And I want to say by Thursday have the season kicked off, and Andre will be with us, and we'll be using NASCAR or ESPN graphics and some 90s MIDI music. I don't know. We'll come up with it. It'll be fun. But all right, that's it here. Thanks for watching, and hope you're looking forward to the season coming up.